religious understanding of mind, probably like the mind as something that is constantly conscious and recording, not necessarily, I mean, always in a state of awareness, probably, but that there is no such thing as unconsciousness. So is unconsciousness then another metaphor that we're using? And to what extent we're dealing with projections in general then?
It's just a word problem. And we get lost in word misunderstandings. Um, Different people use the word consciousness according to different meanings, and they don't even know they are doing that. So to be strict, I would have to say, I think there is only one phenomenal consciousness underlying the whole of nature. And when I say phenomenal, what I mean is it is conscious by virtue of having experiences. And it doesn't need to have higher level mental functions, such as self-awareness, ability to introspect, self-reflection, metacognition. It doesn't need to have any of that. If it is experiencing something, anything, then it is phenomenally conscious. And it is in that sense that I say that at the foundational level of nature, there is only one universal phenomenal consciousness. But many neuroscientists, psychologists, psychiatrists, they use the word consciousness when they actually mean consciousness. And the difference is the following. If you are experiencing your breathing, then you are conscious. But you're only meta-conscious of your breathing if, in addition to the experience of breathing, you also know that you are experiencing your breathing. That's meta-consciousness. And of course, you also have meta-consciousness. If you know that you are experiencing your breathing, then you're meta-conscious. So there are many degrees of consciousness according to how many times consciousness folds in upon itself in order to objectify its own experiences. Now, humans are eminently meta-conscious. We say that we have hunger or we have pain. And we make this separation between us and the pain. So like I have pain. So the pain is not me. I am the entity having the pain. We make that separation because we are meta-conscious. We know that we are experiencing pain, but we aren't the pain. We are the entity who knows that he or she is experiencing pain. You see what I mean? So we are fundamentally self-reflective when we do that. And it's only by doing that that we can report on experience. I can only tell somebody else what I am experiencing if, in addition to the experience, I know that I am experiencing it. So for many professionals, consciousness means actually meta-consciousness. So if you understand it that way, then of course there is a subconscious, there is an unconscious. It's just the non-metacognitive part of consciousness. It is still experiential, but you can't introspect into it. You're not able to say, I'm having that experience, in just the same way that most of the time, you're not meta-conscious of your breathing. You're experiencing your breathing all the time, but most of the time, you're not metacognitive of it, meta-conscious of it. You have the experience, but you're not telling yourself, oh, I'm having the experience of my rib cage inflating, air flowing through my nostrils. No. You only become meta-conscious of it when you direct your attention to it. You can have a whole world of experiences that you cannot reach through attention and metacognition. You can have feelings that you don't know you are having, regrets, fears and anxieties that you don't know you're having, and yet they're controlling your behavior. I mean, the therapy office of depth psychology is full of these so-called unconscious contents, which basically are phenomenally conscious experiences that the subject is not aware that he or she is having. That's all there is to it. But once you bring your attention to them through careful introspection, you're not only realizing that you're having the feeling or you're having the pain, you also realize that you were always having the feeling and you were always having the pain. You just didn't know that you were having the feeling and having the pain. So in conclusion, it's a long answer. There is no unconscious or subconscious in the sense that there is something that is outside phenomenal consciousness. I don't think these things exist at all. But there is a quote subconscious or a quote unconscious, in that there are experiences that we are having but don't know that we are having. So from that perspective, I acknowledge the unconscious and the subconscious.